alone is better sometimes. Make sure my tie is straight. Yeah, sure. It's American, all right.
Yeah, America.
American.
One of the best in America.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make a start. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our research seminar. It gives me great pleasure as chair of the Research and Innovation Committee, also as dean of the faculty as well. So we've got lots of time for to introduce or to reintroduce a colleague of ours, Dr. Roger Denousse. I beg your pardon, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I've been practicing it all. You may know of Dr. Denousse for many years. Has been a figure in the area of business management, leadership, and associated areas. And we are very fortunate to call him a colleague within the Department of Business and Finance as well. You make a significant contribution, Dr. Denousse, and we are looking forward to stealing some of your experience and knowledge as well as not stealing, but borrowing, I think is a better word. Regardless of our ages, we are always open for learning. I know this is going to be a very exciting business strategies. And not a lot of people understand what strategy is. So over to you, sir, and thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. With your permission, I will move all this. So just to reality show, regular quality, as lecturers, we always have a topical. Thank you. Been with the University of Seychelles since 2019. It was in when I started my part-time job here in August 2019 with Canadian course, master's course. And then I took other courses at degree level. So 6 years. I know the only problem. Okay. Understand this model. How? Then you have to pick so right? It kill and okay. We are there. You want to attend? We are there. Okay. Yeah, so I started this course, maybe I will start rolling the slides. What have I studied in 5 years? 5 years, not a short time, it's quite a number of years. A student starts at S1, and they go to S5 in their lifetime. This is what I was doing while students were going from S1 to S5. I was one study for 5 years. So the course is structured, and of course it's online course with the University of Walton. They have only online courses, and they are accredited in the US, accredited worldwide, very popular. And the level is very high, but very challenging and expensive university as well. And okay, we during these 5 years, I went to Europe for 2 residencies, one in Barcelona 2016, because I started the course in May 2015. And 1 year after that, in July, I was first resident in Barcelona. The residency, they hire one big hotel, and we all the students meet there for 3-4 days session with the management and lecturers of the London University. This is the physical contact, and the other one was in another year after that. 2017, we went to Paris for the second. You have to use compulsory, you have to do 2 residency for you to graduate. And everything, I paid for the internet, I paid for the softwares, learning more about software later. All the books, I paid for all the books myself. The first year, that was a challenge how to pay, because I was not on the training program of HRP. And I was accepted, so I paid almost all this first year myself. And then I engaged with HRP and HRP, and I engaged with the ministry. I was working full time with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, was at the time one combined ministry. And they put me on the training plan for the year of following, and they started to pay each, and HRD started to pay for the second year. And this was intense. Every day you have to study, and every week you have to study 2 assignments, one on Wednesday and one on Sunday. The Sunday assignment is very long. You have to be every night open your class online and communicate with the students, communicate with your facilitator. And I scored very high for this course. On the first course, I was scoring B the first year. In the second year, I have my physical result on a piece of paper. Yeah, I'll share with you later. On the second year, and especially third year, and fourth year, fifth year, I was scoring A. The difference in America, the B is 80%. The A is 90%. So you can see my grades the third year got over 90% throughout. You can stop me for any question, please. Any question? Let's make it interactive. Yes?
Yeah, it's probably one just interested in why did you choose the BBA rather than
yes. Fortunately, when I was doing my research, people on the background. When I was deciding which course I should be doing a PhD or DBA, I started to learn the difference between a DBA and a PhD. PhD is more research focused. The DBA is more business management focused. And I'm a person who always wanted to look at management. So, and also the DBA is short in terms of completion. For my age, I was, I think, 55 when I started. And I wanted to finish sooner, as soon as possible. Try to terminate. But also it's focused on management. But apply management in the workplace. Any other question, please? No?
So we wrote yes. So the entry level of your DBA was undergraduate or postgraduate?
No, you need to have a master, you need to have a degree, you need to have worked around 5 years. The entry is the most challenging thing to be accepted in any of these universities. Because there's a big what kind of essay to write and all your CV, and they look at, they dig into your details.
So it's
And first they refused to accept me, but one of their colleagues there said, no, this is the best paper I've seen, so let's take him in. And then they took me in. So it's not easy. This was one of the residency in a photo, the first residency in Paris. We are in a session, a class session, and there is a possibility that we will try in this class. This is how it's done. Of course, this 2 years. That's the interesting about the DBA. You don't just go for the research. You go for courses. It's like an MBA. You're doing physically following courses in management at a higher level. Like this is an introductory course about business management and on challenges in management. Then we should also study leadership, study marketing, especially marketing innovation. The most difficult one for me, because I'm not a financial focused person, was the course in finance. Because the formula they were teaching you, then it was bringing finance to another level. After actually going through this course, you can become a financial manager in any organization. And this was one of the courses that I only was able to score a C. Others I scored B and A's, but this course was tough, very tough. We also studied business operation, looking at in a global aspect, business strategy and innovation for sure. Why I took this course was for this. This the research to understand quantitative, qualitative, and mixed research. And there's 3 courses that you follow. What I said, one course lasts for 1 semester, which is 4 months. So each course you do it over 4 months, and there's no exam for each of these courses. Assignment and say to go out. It's a qualitative essay of let me see, 15 pages. The final submission, 15 pages. Again, business innovation, because I was focused on business innovation, IT and ICT courses. How do you write the research papers, that's prospectus, literature review, and proposal? And almost more than 1 year to complete this and get it approved. And as well as the writing the finding itself. I have some document here I got with me, which guides the students. This document is your doctoral Bible, we call it. You follow this to the letter. It guides you from the first the one up to you graduate. Every step, you are told what to do, what standard you need to write. So this was a very, that's why it's so messy now, because I was every day flicking through it. So I'll just share with you on this side. You can look at this one. It's the same. On the side, you can look at the result of all these courses. Can I take a breather now? Questions, clarification? Yes, Doctor.
Sorry.
No problem.
So there's no examinations for each of these courses, so you, 10 courses, 3 of them.
That's 10 plus 3.
10 plus
Yeah, that 3 are electives because I was focusing on innovation and ICT. The 3
So,
focus.
how was it assessed? How did you get all this?
Pardon?
What, how was it assessed? Did you do?
No, every week you are sending assignment every week, especially on Sunday. And then at the end of that course, there's a final PSA for that course that we need to submit. And the quality of the writing in America, the English is better than the British English. I believe. This is my opinion. So, and they grade you according to how you read your long essays and weekly assignment as well. And we interact in class with the students online. I correct the work of other students, the other students correct my work. This is how it's done. We share our experiences. Yes. Yes.
Since you are going through the DBA program, if you were to make a recommendation on should we improve, what would that?
Now, can you repeat your question?
That if you were to recommend an area of improvement, what would that be?
In which organization?
No, I mean the program, in the DTA program.
In this program,
In this country.
maybe more contact with the university. That two residencies can be too little. Maybe at least 4 in the residency, but it costs because you have to fly, pay hotels, pay for your expenses, food and everything. But we need more contact because I was alone doing this here. I didn't have a mentor. My mentor was with my chair in the US. And she didn't have time to give me enough time to give me when I have a certain problem. When I didn't understand some certain things. It's online. It's online, only online university. But they physically assist these people. That's why they do the residence. For them to know you, for you to know them, and that means that no. Pardon? No, it's not online investment. But they need to make a protection that there's no false certificate. But if you know what I mean. That's why we have to meet each other and get to know you. Like a physical person, not a robot. Yes.
So now you've gone through that and you got your doctorate degree. How much would you value your experience in terms of US dollars? How much could you worth?
Okay, if you're looking at the cost, right, so it's a very expensive university. What we were spending, first year I was spending, second year the government was spending, one semester, 4 months cost 60,000 rupees. You have to pay ahead in advance. As you enter the class, you pay for that semester. And they bill you often for finance discussion. The money.
About 3 million.
I don't know. With the books, with the internet, it can be even more. With the flight, planes, and we didn't go for graduation because COVID time we are graduated online. I didn't go to the US. Nobody you go to the US for graduation. Yeah, but normally our sponsors, NHR, they sponsor for this for you to attend the graduation. It's part of that sponsorship.
About 3 million rupees invested in this.
Yes, yeah.
Any source.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, also for yes. You can
Could you please highlight briefly, give an overview, IT for competitive advantage? What was that about?
Um, in my title was for innovation for competitive advantage in business. And we have to understand all the aspects of IDICT, moving to what the changes that are happening in IT, to AI now, robotics, and all these aspects that you can bring into your organization to make a difference with your competitors. Yes. I can move on. And I forgot to mention there's around 15 to 16 of the students in any one class at the time. Because students come and go, sometimes they defer, they don't continue. And each semester there's a different groups of students. Some also are completing, they move ahead and you stay behind. That's how it is. As you know, for the person, you need to have a subject, a topic, I would say. And like for me, that was not an easy. I wanted to understand more innovation. I wanted to understand more IT, ICT, but to put it all together, it was not easy. So you have to look at how that research will help your country or your region. And this is what I did for the background. I was looking at how that research can help Central to move forward in delivering better services, better products, and become more competitive, not only amongst ourselves in Central, but to become more competitive across the region, especially, and even internationally. Because we don't go towards innovation, IT, ICT, and transformational leadership. This is fine. The next topic that will come away in the investment that we said, then we will not be able to compete with UAE. We will not be able to compete with Mauritius. We will not be able to compete with Kenya. So I did my basic reading was to see what the big organization like the World Bank was saying about Africa, about island states of Africa. And it confirmed from the report of the World Bank that there is poor business performance in 2015, that's the report, that Africa was not performing to the level it could have done or even do better. Because other countries like Asia were flying very high. Europe was ahead, America was ahead. Only Africa was behind. So I wanted to understand that. That's the background. Question. Why Africa? No, because I was looking together to find a solution for Seychelles. And Seychelles is classified by the World Bank as an African state. So I had to understand what is happening in Africa and also what is happening in islands in South Africa.
Why not the other islands like,
Pardon?
why not the other islands like the Maldives and Sri Lanka? Because it's also in the Indian Ocean, it's only 2 hours from Maldives to Seychelles.
Yeah.
Africa is like 4 hours.
Yeah.
From Seychelles to.
Yeah, but under the political arrangement of the world, Africa, Seychelles is in Africa. And We can see even,
It's a emotion.
no, I'll try to answer you. We can see, from my research as well, can see that the difference in the thinking of leaders of African states, island states, than in the mindset of leaders from Mali, from Sri Lanka, from Indonesia. There's a different.
Of flying stations, airways flies to Sri Lanka, not the other way. It flies more to Asia.
Yeah. But we see, we are more closer, our tendency more closer to West Africa than to West India. Any other question? I'll move on. For any research, you need to set up that's the foundation of the research. The problem statement you are studying is like not being a house, and the problem statement is your foundation. You need a hook. So I had to read a lot to find this. It's not easy. They train you when you go to residency how to get it right. But you have to look for it yourself online. And I managed to get a hook. Business leaders who are not implementing innovative management strategies have shown to be less competitive and profitable in Africa. That was a research done in 2016. I started my course in 2015. So it's even after I started studying that this paper was finalized. And the angle we see in continental Africa that we are rich in resources. We are the richest in all the resources of the world, but we are the least developed regions or geographical area of the world. And this is why we say, what is happening with the African leaders? And this, what we propose is that because there's no innovation management strategies, and this is the goal of the reason why we are not optimizing on our resources. And this nobody can contest this research here. And we zoom this terrorism problem into a specific business problem. We see that specific business, the specific business problem is some leaders who are like innovative business management strategy to enhance competitiveness. You see, in our thinking, in our way of working, that we are not being able to perform. Has that changed? Have we moved from 2016 and now we are in 2020? It's almost 9 years ahead. Has this attitude or this leadership pattern changed? I would like to think about that. Maybe I'll answer it at the end of my lesson. Yes, please. Yeah. Very, very low developed, very least developed. Yeah. But and it
need to say it's the business that
yes. No, but in any country, it's the leader that makes that change for economic growth or innovation or transformational decisions. The general population, they are lost. They are trying to live, but they are get on with their daily life. But it's the legal business that going to that make the decision, the strategies to change our culture. Let's take shares. If we are not have strategies for city independence to make this growth that we have now, would we have changed this island? No. It was the leadership that changed to bring housing, bring how we can use housing to bring to look at the health. It was the leaders, both political and business leaders, that changed. Because the zero population, they will not, they're just going to work as well with their children. It's the leaders that are leading, make decisions, that are control the resources, that can make this difference. Because you have to have strategies. Without strategies, you will not grow. Yes, please.
I want to link your points number two to another frame. And my question is a follow-up to Dr. Sarah's question. The mineral resource case, you are linking it to your problem statement and you are saying it has to do with a general rate of innovative strategies. Is that all, or there are other problems that have to do with the fact that Africa is underdeveloped?
Okay. Yeah. You have the resources. You have two leadership. I would call it. This is why in my research I brought in this transformational leadership theory. That's my anchor of my research. I will come to it very soon. For any research, those who have done the first PhD or previous courses, you need to have a purpose, and you need to also have a target, an impact, how that research will change society. Businesses as well as society. I will explain why I use case study in a few moments, but I will just bring this purpose. The purpose of this qualitative study was to explore business leaders' innovative management strategies to enhance competitiveness. Let me explain myself. We have to focus if we are going to do a quantitative research or a qualitative research. And from the guidance of my lecturers at Madam University and from my courses, that we find it better to focus on the qualitative research and also a case study research. It will achieve. We'll get the final result that we are aiming for earlier and faster. So this is why we wanted to understand why, if there are any innovative business leaders in Seychelles. Because the research was focused in Seychelles. Business, not government, not ministries, business, private business in Seychelles. There could be partially in a selection. This was one, but they have to be doing a competitive business operation. And of course, the social impact, how we can make the lives of the people through that research better, through the finding of that research, and even grow more businesses through the finding of the research. Yes, please.
I mentioned that the case
study was on Seychelles. And then after you mentioned multiple case study. If it is in Seychelles, did you also consider other countries?
Yeah, in the literature review, we look at the Africa and I say or Africa, yes. But for the term of the time span we had and the funding we had, we could not go and study what was happening in Mauritius or even in Kenya. It would have taken too long, and we would not have seen. So we focus on, initially I talked about 4 companies, innovative companies in Seychelles. But finally I took 5 innovative companies in Seychelles. And these companies this company was confidential. I had to write in my research paper in the thesis that we prefer never to tell who's this company. So the first to get 5 years at least. We've taken a part not to tell anyone who are these 5 companies. But I can tell you which sector around they come from. I'll do that a little bit later. Yes, please.
Okay, just one point of clarification. I'm struggling with the first point. The purpose of this qualitative multiple case is the multiple and case study. I understand the case study of the single entity.
I'm sorry, because we are selecting 5 companies, 5 leaders to be interviewed. It's not just one company. You can do a single case study when you go in one company and you do the research in one company. If it's a very big company, you can do that. Like Google, you can go in Google and do one case study research in Google or even Walmart because they are so fast. But in Seychelles, we have to use a few companies to compare, to see if it's true, to compare the results. So that we have a trend of innovation and transformation leadership in Seychelles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
My issue is that a particular case that looks at one, and then what you're saying is, I'm sure we'll go through the case study 1, case study 2, case study 3, case study 4, and then.
It's one case study, but we're doing in that case study, you have 5 companies in that research. It's not different cases. One research covering 5 companies. I interview 5 leaders and I look at the result as one research. Qualitative research.
Yes, just a couple of I think for me, looking at the focus, I will not even include the statement in competency notes, but I will just state that the focus of the research is to explore business data stimulating evidence. And then maybe on the method, then I will just highlight that it's qualitative studies without including the whole thing. Because every commerce can go into detail that
This is subject to interpretation. This is the way the world system, that's how they write. You have to do it their way. So there's no playing around with words with them. Because we are always looking at past research papers. We have in a certain way to follow the writings of past students.
Because why I noticed that people look at it from the same thing, we have the fixed committee, there are some issues here.
No, I know. The way we look at English and the way that the American they look at English, I can see that the meeting a question.
Technically, it was just, as I'm saying, it was saying, it's the clarity, and you've explained it very well for us as well to understand the way which university would have expressed it. It's like,
Yeah, but like for them, This goes through a vetting system. And it's looked at by so many professors at this university. And if they found it, there was a big issue with this, they would never have passed my doctoral study. This is the only way I can defend. I cannot change. Yeah. But I'm thinking of writing, using my research to write a book. Maybe in that book, then I can rewrite certain things. Yeah. This is the time.
Yes, sorry to take you back to your research methodology. You said you looked at 5 companies were different from Seychelles, or you also looked at other jurisdictions?
No, for the research, physical research, it was only 5 companies from Seychelles. Yes, because the literature we studied Africa, we studied the island of this region, trying to understand what is happening as well. But I could not go to Ocean. I could not go to Kenya in the lab was too much of the lab. Taking too much time, and time was a factor doing it to graduate. This is what you do when you do doctoral study. You deliver to graduate. Because they purposely delay your graduation for them to make more money. Sorry, I'm blunt about this. Okay, the main question, you always have to have your main research question is, what innovative business management did some business leaders in Seychelles? I've just added this to make it more clear for you in my writing. I don't know in Seychelles. Used to enhance competitiveness. So we wanted to see, are there innovative business leaders and transformational business leaders in Seychelles? And this is what the main research question was about. Question on this. Any question on this? No. And in qualitative research, case study, like I said, we did interview for 5 minutes. We even did pilot study, pilot interview, which was SME, did business leader of an SME, and we only have 8 questions for the interview. Not more. And you will see it's structured, focus on business competitiveness, on business innovation, on transformational leaders. And they have to reply to these 8 questions. And when I am doing this interview, I record that little thing. I used to bring my small thing, and I used to do this in class. So, yes, please.
What research methodology you use, or the research design you use to?
Pardon?
What research design or the methodology that you use kind of moves to analyze and later on we do analysis. It's a lower side, but we must be having a research design or methodology, right?
Yeah,
That question.
the research was a case study, qualitative research.
Your methodology. Or the research design, there are certain designs, right?
Yeah, the design is case study. Case study design, and then I'm going to have analyze these replies, which are recorded on tape, and I had to transcribe word for word in English, typing each of these reply of these questions and use the software and people to find things and solve things. Yes.
On the interview techniques, which technique did you use? Was it in-depth interview or sense structure?
It was the semi-structured interview, one-to-one, and recording the interview, and open interview. They were free to tell me whatever they wanted, and I recorded. There was, I didn't guide them. What I did, I sent this before I fixed the interview. I sent this on email. They all had this to prepare themselves. So they knew what I was going to ask them. They were not surprised by the questions. Yes.
Yeah, how do you ensure trustworthiness of the responses? How do you know they were that from the very
Okay. We have in qualitative disciplinary research, they've got triangulation. So I had to take documents from each of these companies, like their management meeting, their annual reports, and also look at that. How these companies were performing from their annual report, for example, from what they are telling me. And also from the news, I also could understand because I know some of these companies, right? They are always on the news because they are very big companies. If they were telling me or building up a story, just to make them look smart. Yes, please.
Some leaders were actually very certified, right? How many we didn't know how many leaders did you interview?
Each of these companies, there were 5 companies. In each of them, I interviewed the CEO almost, or the deputy delegated by the CEO to the decision.
My next question would be, innovation by itself is something that can thrive under transformation leadership. In Seychelles, from my observation of being here for 10 years, organizations are built around, I don't want to really use bureaucracy, but organizations are really built around, their strategies are built around institutionalism. How difficult was it for you to find the innovative and the common of these leaders?
Institutionalism, you mentioned.
Yeah.
No, but we were not looking at maybe at too much on the company's institution or internal politics of the company body, but we were looking at the result of that company in the market. Are they attracting customers more than the competitors? Or are they just using resources and not giving the shareholders dividend? This was the approach.
Yeah, I'm going back to Chrissy's question because we mentioned something about the nature of the business, how you might categorize the different businesses, because obviously businesses are not monolithic or the same. So you've got small businesses, you've got some businesses that are wholly institutional, you've got some businesses that are half and half, you've got some businesses, let's say like State Group, that is not actually Seychelles, it's Diageo or whatever. So, you know, if we don't actually know the kind of profile of the business and where they are placed within the economy and what links they have internationally, then it's hard to kind of compare if you're not able to tell us what businesses you actually studied.
First thing is we were not comparing these businesses among themselves. We were looking at if they were they had some innovative competitive decision in their management structure in how they were delivering. And so we were not comparing this business with the other business. We are only focusing on the innovation and the transformational leaders. We are not even comparing this leader with the other leader because we are ABCD in company.
Then obviously how you compare with your competitors.
Yeah, because each of them were not in the same market.
Right.
Some were in the tourism, some were in aviation, some were in media, multimedia. Some companies were in finance, some companies were in management. I cannot be precise because if you let out the mouse. So we could not compare these different companies because in my selection of companies, I selected from different industries. And the reason is because we didn't have a lot of innovative business institutions. I'm telling you, 2018, when I with my selection, there was not a lot of there are. Some of them, that's why we were able to finish this study, but then not enough to make a difference in the economy. And then today, after 4 years, 5 years of finishing my study, there are still not enough innovative companies on the ground for us to push in the region to be very confident. This is why we have all these things on TV now. People are complaining this or that, or this service is not good, this company is not good. Because of we did move. I published this myself on, I wrote an article, National Nation newspaper. I wrote an article after I graduated. I put my picture. All the time I asked anybody who wants to help. I'm available. I can put my phone number and my email. Contact me. No one. They don't. They and COVID kicked in. And this was an opportunity for them to use my knowledge for me to come in and see how we can change and become more innovative. Nobody can. And now we see we back to COVID, we going back to pre-COVID situation. COVID helped us to become more a bit innovative because we have to work online to allow money to come in for us to pay our workers during the COVID. But after the COVID, we back to working physically or in the office or on site. And we see we are in the back in the old ways, maybe slightly worse than we were before COVID. That's the big question for businesses and for the politicians in the country right now. And last night I was doing the news. There was this person from Dubai was teaching us about innovation, and I've been here sitting down on my flat for 5 years. Nobody wanted to learn. Yes, please. You have your hand up, or you have your hand up. Yeah, Alex. Yes,
Just one, something that wasn't specifically, you mentioned that we go to different, export for agreements from different industries. Where the strategies that you found, to be successful, were they homegrown strategies or strategies that have been, adopted and from external?
It's a very good question. I said, I'm not focusing on really doing a slight extension of that study in that line. But I would say, when we look at all the strategies that came out, a lot of these strategies were from leaders that have been well trained at academic level, and I would think they've learned from colleges, universities, from overseas. Yeah, it is not only grow locally, it's from their studies from international universities. Because the University of Chicago was still young when I started that study. So the impact, and some of them would also have been graduated from the Memorial before I started with institute, but in the institute. Yes. Any, I'll move on. Yeah, this is where we get to the end. Sorry, the theory for that research. It's based on James Barnes' transformational leadership theory, TLT, from his book Leadership, written in 1970. I had to look for a theory on which to focus my study, and I found this to be suited to guide that research and see what the leaders, how they are making decisions, how they are strategizing, planning, and this theory really, because like we said, transformational leaders are leaders that can and are always making a difference for being more competitive, and they also care for the team. Question.
Yes, for a second. Did you use what the conceptual framework and the rational framework?
No.
I understand that.
No. When we are writing for qualitative research, we call it conceptual framework. That's the theory. But if you are doing a quantitative research, you call it a theoretical framework. It's just a phrase in the American academia that they are using. Yeah. Because I'm doing a qualitative distribution, I use that we have to do conceptual framework in our writing.
Because also there are subtle differences in conceptual framework and the rational framework, whereby the conceptual framework focuses on concepts that underpin that, while the theoretical framework is more concerned with the theories.
Yes, because we are looking at what is going on in the workplace, how the leaders are taking decisions, how they develop their internal culture. That's why we use the phrase conceptual.
Why not transactional leadership?
Pardon?
Why not transactional leadership? What?
Take a transactional leadership. But for me, when I read, I did quite a lot of reading before I take a decision. I found transformational leaders, and as I went through the study before, because this was a very early stage, maybe 1 year of my study, I found there has been so much, you need to get a lot of references. There have been so much study on entrepreneurship, and it has proven that if you really handmade, we can make a difference. On the ground, if you have, if you develop, please have it into the transformational meeting.
It's a really interesting concept of where you, because the argument about transactional leadership was, very much about the management function, which distinguishes leadership between leadership and management. I think our guy is a difference.
Yeah, that's a few other things I could have, like, I could have used the, what call this, analytic theory of leadership. You could easily have looked at it. And as you build up, you will always have to focus on that type of theory. That's what I've selected, but I focus all along, up to the end
You
of.
consider the grounding theory, so that developing the theory of relationship.
Yes, yes. It was my decision and it was approved by the university that this theory is okay for my research. Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned, that was who I, you asked me that so method and design, no? This is, no, you asked me for that question about method and design. So this is the method, qualitative, and the design is custom. And it's for good reason. It's for good reason that it's for the time limitation, and to get result of that research. Because you can start the research and never finish. Some students give up 3/4 of the way because they cannot bring to a conclusion their research. Then this is only few, but luckily, but it's hard to learn about this. Okay, this was the most challenging part of the study. The literature review. I'm sharing the document with you. This is the full document. The literature review covered so many areas. It's not too big. I think it's about how many pages? I would say maybe 36 pages. I thought I would have to write more when I started, but my lecturer, my chair just cut down to remove certain topic. So I had to focus on the key topic of my research, like leaders, transformation leaders, organizational culture, technological innovation. These are topics that made and social media impact, investment, as well as globalization, how globalization is impacting on competitiveness and innovation. And also developing countries had a small paragraph on innovation, business management innovation in developing countries. Yes, please. I think we have, I have it on small, and the last part when we talk about when we talk about developing countries, yes, I try to look at developing. Not I, but I didn't write a lot about it.
They can't get it. But if you look at Singapore, let's say, they're ultra rich, but
Yeah.
they're very small. So smaller organizations are very unique business environment, very unique.
Very unique.
Can't really compare the business environment of Seychelles with any real country in Africa unless you're going to take care of the imagine.
This was the challenge of the research.
Yeah.
To find right things, research before myself on Seychelles or Mauritius or even in other areas of Africa, there's notable. Many of our students, doctoral students, have not done their research on their country, on their island states. They done research on big countries like Europe, like in USA. So it was not easy to get the information online. So the 5 companies that were selected were I will mention very quickly was from finance company that were delivering financial services, the companies that were doing multimedia, companies that were doing banking, companies that were in tourism, and companies that were delivering management. These were the companies, the 5 companies, and they all had a code of C1, company 1, up to company 5, and then they also had participant code P1 up to P5 in the right. You'll see.
Might be tourism, what company.
I cannot say.
So it's a result of hotel or guest house or?
So it's tourism. It's more like services, not hotels, but in services of tourism. But when if you read Bible, you may if you are clever, guess that company because certain phrases that is being written there, it tell you a bit which company gave me their interview. We could not change what they were when we were writing. We had to put their own wording. And I think let me move on. So it was very structured. You asked me that question earlier, just minutes, and open any question. I have mentioned that. And then we had checking with the company's documents, triangulation, so that we can compare the whole asking that question. If they were telling the truth or if they were just playing smart. And also for validity, we had to triangulate the result. So I had to collect documents from this company, as well as some of them was of his website, looking at the website and the reports on the website. Okay, how do we analyze the interview? That was a lot. Five companies, 8 questions, transcribed. So our aim was to find themes from case study. The aim is to find themes. That was thematic, and we also, like I said, transcribe using Microsoft Word. And we load that I paid for NGO software from Australia. And I had to learn the NGO. No, they tell you to buy it from Australia. They tell you to buy, I had to buy it, and I had to learn what it's all about. I didn't have any idea what NGO was, how to manipulate it. How do I get things from this? So I had to learn, and I developed in 2 months, my skill, manipulate design, became an expert on using NVIDIA. Now the result, I'm coming very quickly to the result. Once you load this into NVIDIA, you extract it highlights certain keywords because you already program NVIDIA with certain key. If they are NVIDIA agree with the things, because you are looking at as you read what you've done, you are seeing some tendencies. And if NVIDIA agree, they will highlight these things. And I have what emerged about 4 things: innovative business leaders, technological innovation for business competitiveness, regional and international market and competition, as well as finally competitive business. These were the 4 main things that we made, and 3 of them had sub-tips. We will sorry. We will look at it very quickly, one by one. And for each of these very things, I have to do another online research to look at the fresh literature review from 2017 to 2019 that collaborates with the finding of these books. This was collaboration of the literature review. Then there's collaboration of the conceptual framework. Who are the recent research that support transformational leadership and highlights these things that I mentioned. I will not go through. I'm just explaining how I managed to answer and satisfy the university. This is how they want you to do it. And the theme 2, we had 2 sub-themes, which is e-commerce, mobile business, and social media. And the importance of the internet technology for becoming more competitive. If you don't invest in e-commerce, you don't invest in social media, mobile facilities, and also internet and other ICT tools, you will be left behind in this global competition. Question? Yes. Any question?
The themes came from.
Yeah, the themes, yeah, even from because once you are analyzing, you suggest the themes with the people, and if they agree with you, if you highlight the number of times these speakers or these interviewees will mention these things, and you count. And in my report, you'll see the statistics of this count of these things.
So in some ways, then you quantify what it says.
Yes, yeah, you quantify the things that are emerged. But you have to propose the people or the computer will not give you the things.
Because we have some quantitative.
Yeah,
Researchers in
yeah.
and results in stuff down.
Like in the first thing, you also look at it's linked with the recent 2018 and 2018 literature review, and then we also look at the conceptual framework, which is the social leadership collection, recent one from 2018. And this continues even for team three, which was regional market and international, regional and international markets and competition. Because we wanted to look at how, when I interview these leaders, I ask them, how do you compete in the region? How are you able to survive with the regional competition? And these are what the answers that came up. So you also have to be smart when you are doing this kind of thing. You cannot just blindly go and do the final interview or the research. You will get nowhere. And of course, but and the last, this was the most interesting thing in this competitive environment. We have four subjects, which is business competitiveness, business intelligence, and customer satisfaction, as well as human resource management. This subject emerged from the comments from the 5 business leaders. The question, please. Again, in this we link it with the literature review, and then we also link it with the conceptual report, which is 2019. Let me just read one, just to transformation lead from the front and take critical innovative decision for business new approaches. That's 2018. With the research on transformational leadership. It agrees with this finding, which was done in 2019. My research was done in 2019.
Obviously, methodological limitation of your program, being qualitative and being really only 5 businesses.
Yes.
You're not able to scale up, you're not able to generalize.
Yes.
You don't have a sample that is a complete sample. So you're not able to do any statistical analysis to scale up, to make any kind of generalization. So there's no real final overall conclusion that you can draw that you can apply more generally to say journals or
Other countries.
or anywhere else really.
Yeah. This is a start of a deeper research that countries or universities can do. To include Mauritius, to include the Maldives, to include the other island states, so that we really understand this aspect of innovation in Africa.
But the whole thing about qualitative research is not to make a generalization. It is about that test, that particular entity, what we're doing. So making generalizations in the quantitative overview, bigger samples, sensitive. This is there as well. Thank you. It's an interesting concept, which is the way of doing things, but I think the overall strategy, the overall focus of the point of view of research isn't to give a generalization, your innovation, leadership styles or insight is to look at those 5 individual companies. I've got a supervisor that I would say what we consider to do some more comparative study to look at then what generates innovation, where it's come from, things like that. Which you probably thought about.
Yeah, well, at this stage, I already covered 4 years of the study. And normally, DBA you finish in 4 years. I've already passed that limit, minimum of 4 years. So I have to complete, and my chair or my facilitator at the event pushing me to do my best to move forward and get my finalized approval. Yeah, because otherwise, it's too expensive, because you are paying 6,000 rupees every 4 months. I didn't take it, if I want break between the 5 years. Some students take a break for 5 years, reason for tiredness. They take a relief of the 4 weeks or even, sorry, 4 months, 1 semester, for them to review the exam and go back. But it's tiring. Tiring every night you are on it. I am then my contract in the ministry finished in 2019, and I didn't renew it because I was in focus to finish this course. And then I started semi-retirement. I was 65 then, 60 years old. And so I focused to finish, and I came to lecture part-time here, so that I can to finish this. Otherwise, I would not have been able to teach. These are some of the proposals in the research. How you apply the research in the business, the community, and the importance of non-professional business leaders for those present business leaders that wants to look at it and maybe learn from it. And this was also how the community will benefit, the country will benefit, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, recommendation, we have 5 recommendations. I don't know if I have time to read through all 5. Whatever the student need, it's so important, maybe I'll read quickly. Needs to learn and understand the importance of innovative and social leadership for business innovation. Business leaders must be probably thinking organization. It's very important. We need innovative business culture. Developing and implementing innovative business management strategy is crucial for competitive business in 2019 and now 2024. Investing in employees, training to work with this, what we found from the research, with the latest technology is a priority for business innovation, participating in regional global markets, including online business operation, may bring business advantage to innovative organization. Question from the recommendations.
Why you define the existing leadership
Correct.
Why you define the existing leadership style from the company's?
Yeah, the focus was if they transformative. Yes, these 5 they were transformative because they brought in technology, they brought in the innovation into they invested in training of the workers, and they also invested in the equipment and software and hardware to change the way they were operating.
Are you able to confirm this through other studies or like it was actually compared that? Were you able to confirm that they brought this change through further studies?
I didn't include this question in my interview. No, but from the degree you can see they become CEO. They climb up slowly and they become CEO. And once they are CEO, then they will take certain decisions which other CEOs in the country by not taking. So there is something for us to learn from them.
Yes. You will clearly indicate the contribution to practice in business organization or companies. What is the contribution of this learning to the body of knowledge, especially in the literature review? What are you adding to the literature?
Okay, this finding that the people that it published already. Before you graduate, they once it is approved, immediately you have to submit to the progress organization that registered, and they you post it in the library for progress, and it's now open to other students or university cannot get access to this paper. If you type by name, you will find this on progress. So that we do this small research, look at it, and you will see this research that will come out. Because it's already published in 2020, April 2020 or March. Yeah, when it was approved. I think getting to the last part. That yeah, abstract is just this was one of my residency, and this is my chair, Dr. June Owen, my second member of the committee, Dr. Tim Malone, and the head of my team, Dr. Diane Busey. They are all three Americans working on water. And this was my residency, my first residency in Barcelona. Maybe I was taking this picture, I'm not in the future. Actually now the presentation is over. Yeah, these are just some of the bonds, the typical most important and you have the second way to reference. This is one of this is so serious. There's no messing around with the references. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, my son for attending, my former students for attending. Any question, broad question? I hope it was interesting. You learned certain things for me, and I'm available for further discussion.
And I just got one question. What would you do differently?
No, maybe I would have tried to finish in 4 years instead of 5 years. By doing certain, not doing certain mistake like my literature review. It took me 1 year to get my literature review approved. So I would have been a bit smart in doing the research because you learn by doing. The style of writing. I have to pay for what they call it, to make correction on your literature review. Editing, yeah, I have to pay American to edit my make correction 2 times. So this is what I would have to improve. Yeah.
What reference can you use?
Pardon?
What reference can you use?
This I cannot remember the show. But no, not Harvard, no Harvard.
Or is it's a Harvard already good?
No, I can't remember, but we have an official, we have an official, yeah. We have an official, I cannot remember. But to cut this discussion short, very short, we've not moved in innovation since my completion of that study in 2019. We now, in 2024, in 2020, I graduated, and we still, I don't know if especially after the COVID, we still not innovating. We've gone backwards and gone forward. Yes, the business community. And this is my worry. This is my worry.
Did you
This is the
share the finding of those you will get?
Yeah, thank you for that. I have copies. I didn't want to share some copies. but I made hard copies to give to, even in here, I can work with the one of the was here. I shared one copy with him. When I just graduated, he must have this copy somewhere, maybe in the library. I think I'll share. I shared at Memorial Institute. I shared one copy there. And all the other organizations that I did, even the private case leader, I gave you one copy. Yes.
So did you have a chance to revisit your study sites and to have post-doc interviews with your just to discuss the results and to illustrate?
No, I just said that possible, yes, that was the aim of them. But because of my work, and also they also so easily never made an appointment to meet and discuss.
Because this will be one step.
The next step.
Yeah, so just to demonstrate that what actions had a positive impact and to try to focus on like the conclusion to bring the speech of those people into a more conceptual approach and because you've been currently or maybe for the recommendation, you've been very neutral in your approach, not mentioning names, not mentioning so ethically just very clean. But at one point, if you want to make a move, you have to break this disclosure. Boundaries and say, okay, this is a company that is making progress from that.
No, but under the rules of the university, you have to work for 5 years, I think you 5 years, you have to wait for 5 years. Maybe, give you the last one.
No, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for giving your time on as well. Appreciate the engagement. Roger, I think it was a lovely presentation. Sparked a lot of questions relating to research philosophy and the way we conduct the research and modelling the aims of research. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Is there any other final questions before we break? Because again, I'm not really conscious of time. And Roger, you put it exceptionally hard. And you mentioned you were 64. I really don't believe it. So,
Just,
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for sharing those. You mentioned in the beginning that thinking of transforming into a exciting point.
transforming.
Your research.
No, I'll do that one, because we're busy with here. So, I don't have time. It takes time to transform into a book, yeah. But I will do it for you, as a hobby, and, yeah. And I started company or with 2 friends as well. But for this presentation, I will send it to the promotion, please, and he can share it with all of you now. This presentation. This is what we can do now.
and you members of staff, that's Christian, so here now from the law department. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you got something out of it. Particularly these 2 guys here, I'm always worried about the sun. They tend to be quantitative. Oh, search so that my stats numbers get like trends and those kind of correlations as well. The qualitative research is sometimes a bit like trying to nail the roots of the laws. It is difficult. We see it in different lenses as well. So identifying a conceptual framework and a theoretical framework seems to be kind of a bit like that. On that note, I'd like to close this afternoon. And again, just to thank you all so much. Keep going because they're getting better and better and better. You know, must be able to speak because that's in some stage, particularly if you are going to go on Because cultural, in the cultural systems, it's good to get some common feedback. Roger, thank you so much for giving us that. We really appreciate the reference and the advice. Ladies and gentlemen,
So I send in the, to you.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for attending.
No,
Yeah, thank you everybody else.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Your money, lots of others.
But yeah. It's all not finished, and then how to really want to.
Probably not too.
Yeah, you know what, yeah, you know, my support, no.
And you can tell.
It's only created.
I'm a single parent this week, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Very good. I this part is very good, this research, but nobody here is talking about it. No, this guy from Dubai and was speaking around the shows that we last night.
Okay. Not the syndrome they have to be.
One man,
Not the syndrome they have here, the ones who. Okay, everything, some but even if, you know, we've gone through all the overseas systems of education, we qualify, they will never, no matter. They don't come to school at the university here, right? They don't come.
It's never, we have to back up people here, something about the other people.
Yes. And then I was in a workshop at the Savoy. I mean, remember I went to work out because I'm like, I didn't even, and then I teach this in my students. I said, why didn't they come to us to do this workshop? Why is it that I have to go and listen to somebody who's.
We need to.
I said,
Please. We are not recording. I have.
oh, really?
Yeah.
We spoke. But what is it? It's not. That's the one thing. Yeah, I think who would like compete for. I do actually.